these governments are controlled by the Vatican. So I love the Lord's beloved Jewish Israelitish people there, and I bless them pursuant to Genesis 12. But I warn them about their government that's out to kill them. Continuing. And there's more, including revelations in which Phelps brags he is a white supremacist. I've never bragged that I'm a white supremacist. I don't brag about anything. I'm zero. I'm nothing. I have said, indeed, I am a benevolent white supremacist. I am not a hateful Nazi white supremacist, because a candid walk through any museum and you'll come out with a conclusion of a superior white culture. Whites produce superior cultures over blacks and Orientals. That's a fact. Even pagan white Gentiles produce superior cultures over pagan blacks and pagan Orientals. And I am a white supremacist, a benevolent white supremacist, believing that to whom much is given, much is required. Therefore, being part of what was once a white Protestant Western civilization, I have a deeper responsibility. The white Protestant Western nations were superior to the white Catholic nations in Europe. Culturally superior. And of course, culturally superior to the black nations in Africa and to the Oriental nations in the Far East. That is historical white supremacy. And as I've said before, the greatest servants of the devil are white Gentiles, and the greatest servants of the Lord in the past 500 years have been white Gentiles. Irrefutable conclusions. Now, does that mean I hate the Jews? Of course not. Does that mean I hate the blacks? Of course not. Of course not. I spent 6 Saturdays, 3 hours apiece, with a group of black Adventists teaching them my PowerPoint. And then he says, who hasn't filed an IRS return for 25 years. That's true. It was 25 years, but I filed returns for the last 6 years. And all those returns are zero. Zero income, zero tax due. The IRS has fined me $5,000 for each return, which is a total of $30,000. So that my bill to the IRS now is somewhere around $130,000, $140,000, which they're never going to get. Because, as I will take it to tax court whenever they give me a date here, because I'm already there, I will show that I was a non-taxpayer for the years of 2002 through 2007. I was not federally connected. I refuted any assumption that I was a taxpayer by filing tax returns sworn under oath. And that's the proper way to do it. Now there's claims stated upon which relief may be granted. If you want to know more about this, check with losthorizons.com. He goes on and says, now perhaps you know why Phelps goes after anyone who exposes Zionism and also attacks 9/11 Truth people. That's right, I attacked Alfred Webre. I called him a Jesuit coadjutor because he is a liar. He is working for the papacy, he's for world government, and he wants to abolish the U.S. Congress. Does that sound like a patriot to you? He goes on and says, some have said Phelps is Mossad or FBI or even a Jesuit plant, which is what he falsely accuses. Brother Eric John Phelps, I'll be back in a few minutes after a station identification. Tex Mars concludes here and says of me, some have said Phelps is Mossad or FBI or even a Jesuit plant, which is what he falsely accuses others of being. Oh. Well, if I am a Mossad or an FBI plant, I have yet to receive my first paycheck. No, I hate those organizations because, you see, they serve the Pope. And you, director of the FBI, you can take that to the bank. You, director of the Mossad, same for you, because the Mossad was created by the Pope's CIA. I wouldn't be a member of the CFA, the Mossad, or the FBI if I was starving to death. Or even a Jesuit plant. Am I a Jesuit plant? am I a Jesuit plant when I named names and dates and places of Jesuits in high places tied to men of power in this country? Am I a Jesuit plant when I expose men like Pat Buchanan and Edward Bennett Williams and these other powerful Knights of Malta that run this country? William F. Buckley? Would a Jesuit do that? Would a Jesuit expose Robert Drinan, who passed the piece of legislation to impeach Nixon in the House? Huh? And I say that surely the Jesuits wanted Nixon removed because he was a bad boy, he was disobedient, and thus we have Watergate. Would I be a Jesuit if I exposed G. Gordon Liddy as the assassin of Tippit in Dallas and exposed Sturgis, thanks to Jim Rothstein with his 22-page confession to the Archbishop of New York for what went on in Dallas that day when they killed Kennedy? I think not. And would I be a Jesuit if my book is blackmailed and I can't sell it in any bookstore in the United States? Is that a Jesuit plant? Mars concludes, perhaps so, but for sure he is a self-confessed Zionist, as is well proven. I am as I've explained what kind of Zionist I am. Smear merchant and disinformation agent. Well, not hardly. I can prove all my claims. And as I've said, all you people, Tex Mars, Jeff Rentz, Alex Jones, Butch Paul, Constance Cumby, Michael Collins Piper, Eric Hupschmidt, Ogner, all of you, if you withdraw the charge that the Jews are behind it all, I will withdraw my attack against you. But until that time, it is war between us. Which reminds me,